Man, I love being the Pharaoh of Egypt. My realm is stable and prosperous, thanks to the work of my Prime Minister Joseph and his relatives. The only thing I need to worry about is that thing Egyptians do, where we change pharaonic dynasties more often than we change our socks. Time to purge everybody from the old Pharaoh's dynasty. Who should we purge first? Let's start with Joe's descendants, sir. Who's Joe? Joe Mama! Har har. Let's enslave them and stop them from launching a coup against us, and send them to build a giant warehouse out in the middle of nowhere. Sir, that didn't work, and now there's thousands of them. We'll make the midwives kill all their sons the second they're born.
Hey, I've got a better idea. Let's not and say we did.
Why are there still baby boys?
Because Hebrew women give birth before we can arrive?
We'll throw the boys in the Nile River instead. Last thing we need is for the Hebrew people to develop a strong masculine leader who leads a mass exodus out of Egypt.
I'm sorry, little baby, but I just have to do this to keep you safe. Aw, a baby. Can someone go get this baby for me as fine as Mom? Why don't you raise him? He'll be safe from Pharaoh's wrath because you drew him out of the water. Let's call him Moses.
So now Moses is a young adult, and he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder right now. He's really angry about how his people are faring, but doesn't really have much of a direction in his life yet, so he's about to do some really dumb stuff. Mondays, am I right? Guys, knock it off. Get a load of this guy. Bro thinks he's God's chosen one to lead the Israelites or something. Hey buddy, aren't you the guy who murdered that Egyptian guy today? Beans. As you can see here, Moses got hot-headed and crashed out, and now he has to flee Egypt. He ends up in Midian on the Sinai Peninsula, where he meets his wife, has a son with her, and starts working as a shepherd guy for his father-in-law. Moses! I probably want to check that out. Take your shoes off. You are approaching holy ground. I am the God of your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I've seen the suffering of my people, and I am here to rescue them from captivity in Egypt. I am sending you to bring them out of Egypt. Me? Are you sure I'm the right person for this? Yes. You'll bring them right to this mountain, and then onwards into Canaanite territory to establish a nation. And what exactly is your name? I am who I am, so you can say that I am has sent you. The Hebrew elders will respect you, but Pharaoh will not, until I bring mighty curses upon his kingdom. But what if the Israelites don't believe me? You have signs. You can turn your staff into a snake, or turn your hand leprous and back again, or even turn the Nile River water into blood if they really don't believe you. I can't do this. I'm just terrible with words. Who is it that makes people mute or blind? It's me. I'll always be with you. Just send someone else, man. I'm not ready for this at all. That's okay. Your brother Aaron is down there, and he can help you do anything. So now Moses is ready to go down to Egypt to save his people and bring them into the Holy Land. There's nobody left there who wants him dead anymore. He knows who his allies are, and he has faith in God that he'll succeed. He's ready to— whoops! One more thing. Gotta make his son Gershom part of a covenant, if you know what I mean. Thus saith the Lord, let my people go. What, Lord? Back to work, you lazy bums! Thus saith I am, God of the Hebrews. Let my people go, or I shall torment your entire kingdom with plagues. Thus saith Ramesses, Pharaoh of Egypt, go pound sand. Now you'll have to gather your own straw to make the bricks. I just can't do it. These idiots won't listen to me. I'm just straight buns with words. Hey, my promise to you is still good. I'll still lead the Hebrew people out of Egypt and into the Promised Land. But that means you absolutely cannot quit now. But I can't even make my own people listen. How am I going to make Pharaoh listen as well? That's the neat part. You don't. Instead, I'll perform grander and grander miracles until everyone in Egypt recognizes just how powerful I really am. Pharaoh, here is a sign from God that you should let my people go. Catch! That's like a first level spell, Moses. Want to see my wizard summon an even bigger snake?
Nom, 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 nom.
Guess what? I don't care. Oh boy, I sure do love bathing in the Nile River. I hope Osiris prevents anything wacky from happening to it. Osiris, more like faux-Cirrus. So Moses brings forth all sorts of plagues upon Egypt, and what's interesting to note is that each plague is a major power plague, intended to shatter the Egyptians' faith in some god from their mythology. For instance, the Egyptians put a lot of faith in Osiris, the guardian deity of the Nile River. So when Moses turned the entire river into blood, that must have been a huge shock for the Egyptians, who thought that Osiris would always protect the river. And every plague that Moses called forth after that was a similar dunk on the rest of the Egyptian pantheon. He summoned frogs to humiliate Heket, fleas to cloud on Khepri, and flies to smear Sekhmet. Oh wow, you can summon bugs. I'm so scared. Yes, you can go free. Wait, really? Ha! No. Fine then. If you won't listen to the God of the universe, then time for some plagues that'll target only Egyptians. So through Moses, God killed all of the Egyptians' livestock to bag on Bastet while leaving the Hebrews' animals alone. He gave the Egyptians boils to insult Imhotep. He summoned hailstorms to hammer Horus on everywhere except for Goshen, where the Hebrews had been living. And some locusts, too, that only ate the Egyptians' crops, to rebuke Renetunet. He even turned off the sun to roast Ra, the most important god in Egyptian mythology. But the worst curse he saved for last, a personal curse against Pharaoh himself. Let my people go, or all of Egypt's firstborn children will die of letma. What's letma? Let my people go! Well, he didn't listen, and I had to summon the final plague. Here's what we're going to do. Every family is going to take a lamb and slaughter it. Then we're going to paint our doorposts with its blood to mark our houses and be spared from death, which I'm 100% certain is a symbol of Jesus Christ's sacrifice on the cross for us. Then we're going to feast on it, because we just won our freedom! So all the angels of the Lord came down to snuff out all the Egyptians' firstborn sons, and while the Egyptians were stuck inside cowering in fear, the Israelites were stuck inside celebrating, eating lamb sauce and bread. Unleavened bread, of course, because they couldn't get their hands on any yeast. And fun fact, the Jews actually still celebrate Passover to this day the exact same way. Time for the Israelites to start their journey to the Promised Land. Helpfully, God has given them giant pillars of fire to lead their way, and performs every miracle imaginable to help the Israelites get there. The next pillar is right across the sea. How are we supposed to get there? Moses, what you're about to watch is nothing short of a miracle. Hey, how's my pyramid coming along? We're delayed another year now that we've lost our biggest source of labor. Do you want me to call the aliens to finish the job? No, Bobby! I want my free labor back! Why though? Every time you mess with that Moses guy, something really bad happens. I want them back because I'm stupid and I never learned from my mistakes. So he sends the entire Egyptian army out to capture the fleeing Israelites. They're trapped on the coastline and panic ensues. We're all gonna die! We should have just stayed in Egypt! Wah! Guys, quit your belly aching and trust in God. Here's another miracle for you. What on earth am I watching? Well, go get him, boys! For Pharaoh! Have a drink, you fools. The Israelites have a lot to thank God for, and a lot to celebrate too. He led the Israelites out of brutal slavery in Egypt, and gave their former enslavers the punishment that they deserved, and now he's leading to Canaan, a land flowing with milk and honey. But the Israelites' troubles are not over yet. Life back in Egypt was booty cheeks, but at least they were next to a river and had plenty of water. Now they're stuck in the Sinai desert, they can never get back to Egypt, and there's barely a drop of fresh water to be found. Oh, finally, a pond! No, wait, this water is gross. And another thing that the Israelites had in Egypt that they're starting to miss was food. Moses, are you trying to starve us to death? You've led us into the middle of a desert with no food. I wish we were still in Egypt. Wah! I thought we all hated living in Egypt. Why do you guys want to go back? Hey, it's okay. I brought a few boxes of lunchly to keep us fed for a while. Ew. I'm not that desperate. But the Lord never forsakes his people or leaves them to starve. Hey, I'll rain down some bread from heaven for you. All you have to do is not take any more than you need, and pick up some extra right before the Sabbath so you don't have to work that day. So everybody got all the bread that they needed, plus a little bit extra for the Sabbath, but one guy got a little bit too greedy and picked up a little bit more than he needed so he could save some for later during the week. Oh boy, I'm looking forward to chowing down on all this extra manna I just picked up. Yuck! Never mind. Uh-oh. We've just wandered into hostile territory. There's a barbarian army headed right to us. Joshua, you're the toughest fighter around here, bar none. He'll find enough men who can fight these guys off. So Joshua finds the toughest guys he can, and goes to fight Amalek's pagan army, while Moses watches from the hillside, but something curious happens. Whenever Moses has his hand raised, Joshua starts winning, but whenever he lets his hand drop, Josh starts taking the L. Easy. I just keep my hand raised, and we win this whole thing. Okay, this is harder than I thought. Now we're talking. Okay, kids, guess where we're going next? Grandpa's house!
So then Aaron and Hur come by to help lift Moses' hands into the air, and Joshua charges at Amalek and they have this massive sword fight. Then right before Josh is about to score the final blow, he pulls out a box of lunchly and feeds the entire meal to Amalek and says, "Enjoy your final meal, sucker!"
That's great, Zip. And how have you been, Moses?
Tired.
Tired?
Tired. Every time the Israelites have some minor beef, they come to me to resolve it. And now my entire day is just,
Moses, Benny stole my sweet roll. And Moses, Johnny burned my tent down again.
and dumb stuff like that, and I'm just sick of it.
Moses, you'll burn yourself out if you keep trying to solve all of Israel's problems at once.
But I'm the prophet that God chose to save my people. I have to take on all this responsibility all by myself.
No, you don't. God delegated the task of leading Israel into the Holy Land onto you, so you can delegate the task of governing Israel onto others. Find the most trustworthy people in the crowd, have them settle those petty disputes like Benny and his sweet roll, and that leaves you free to settle the important tasks, like Johnny burning people's tents down.
Thanks, Jethro. This is actually really good advice.
No problem, Moses. Anyway, you're on your way to the Holy Land, aren't you? Don't let me keep you too long. Take care.
That's Mount Horeb, where I first met God and started this whole adventure. Nobody go anywhere near it. It's a holy mountain. We'll camp out here at the base for about 3 days, and then I'll go up the mountain. And 3 days later, you'll finally get to see the Lord, who's been the one performing all these miracles. Stay ready. Nobody better get caught sinning that day. These are my commandments for you and your people, so that they shall be ready to live in covenant with me. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt make no graven images of me. Thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain. Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Honor thy mother and father. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness about thy neighbor, and thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's thing. So God and Moses set about devising the laws for the fledgling Israelite nation, so they can live together in a happy way, pleasing to the Lord. For starters, their system of work is transformed from outright Egyptian-style slavery to something more akin to contractual work. Instead of lasting for a life, it can only last for 7 years, and if the boss hurts his servant, like by knocking his teeth out, then the contract is over. Human trafficking is also forbidden under this law, so people can only enter the system to pay off debts or something like that. And thieves have to be dealt with too. Anybody who's caught stealing or scamming has to pay back more than what they stole, and men who get a little bit too naughty with the ladies have to marry the women they get naughty with to help take care of the kids that might come from said naughtiness. Men committing to their wives and children instead of being complete degenerates? What? Witchcraft? Banned. Bullying widows and their children? Banned. Abusing travelers who are just passing through? Banned. You loan someone money and want him to drop something off as collateral? Well, don't take his coat! How's he supposed to stay warm at night if you do that? And it's also important that we worship God right, such as by keeping the Sabbath and making sacrifices to God, offering up the first fruits of all of your harvest, and by not worshiping any of the pagan neighbors' gods, or, God forbid, sacrificing your own kids to them, the Lord will destroy their nations soon. Shepherd, that's me! Your God is evil and mean! I'm not sorry. The human sacrifice will stop. So the Israelite people got to see God for the very first time, and Moses went up the mountain again to receive stone tablets that have the 10 Commandments printed on them. And the tablets were meant to be stored in a special container called the Ark of the Covenant, a beautiful and well-made chest made out of fine acacia wood and gold. And the Ark was planned to sit at the center of a very beautiful tent called the Tabernacle, which was also going to be used for worship later on. The Tabernacle would also have an altar for sacrifices, non-human, mind you, and a courtyard outside, and a lampstand to keep the tabernacle lit at night. And the priests in this temple would have special garments to commemorate the 12 tribes of Israel and the God who had rescued them. Aaron, Moses' brother, gets to be the chief priest who makes sacrifices to atone for the sins of his people. I hope he's not up to any funny business. Or what is Moses doing up there? Let's go gather up all our gold. I want to make something for us real quick. Aaron and his descendants get to be what's called the Kohanim, or the priests of the Israelite people. And fun fact, this order is kinda still around to this day. If you've ever met anybody with the last name Cohen, that means they're actually descended from Aaron. And the other responsibilities of a Kohanim include burning special incense in the temple, and making a unique fragrance for all of the priests. And all that's left is for Israel's 2 best craftsmen, Bezalel and Aholiab, to create all the materials for worship. But don't worry, everybody else will get to help put it all together. Moses, there's something really bad going on down there. Want me to destroy this people and just let you rule a great nation? What? No! After everything we've been through to make it this far? Let me go down there to sort it all out. There we go. Everybody, this is God. But Aaron, you made that yourself like 5 minutes ago. Who cares, Jimmy? Now let's get worshiping, people. Aaron! What the yuck is this? You guys can't go 5 minutes without making a yucking idol? What is your major malfunction, brother? What? They were going insane because they thought God had abandoned them. You idiots have all committed a horrible sin today. Now I have to go back to God and beg him to forgive you all. So Moses prays to the Lord for forgiveness, and God forgives the Israelite people of the sin they had just committed. But they have to leave all their gold jewelry with Moses, lest they try making another idol. The plan is still for them to enter the Promised Land, but Moses still wants to see the glory of God one more time. So he hides in a rock so he doesn't get killed by the beauty of it all. And God continues the covenant of grace with his people. His people will remain faithful and smash every idol they see in the Holy Land, and God will forgive all of their sins. It is a covenant of grace after all. Bezalel and Aholiab get to work crafting everything they need for their worship services. And everybody pitches in to help build the tabernacle. Ark of the Covenant? Check. Table? Check. Altar? Lampstand? Fragrances? Check, check, check-a-rooney. I'm just curious, how much did we spend on this whole project? Well, let me see here. 29 talents and 730 shekels of gold, 100 talents and 1775 shekels of silver, 70 talents and 2,400 shekels of bronze, How much is that in modern day US dollars? A grand total of 170 billion. Hey, it's for the glory of God. That makes it the best 170 billion we ever spent. Very nice work, guys. Y'all did a really good job with it all. So Moses brought the Israelite people out of slavery in Egypt and onto Mount Sinai, where they can be free and dwell until they're ready to enter the Holy Land. We've set up a whole system of worship and justice, but hopefully they can keep following God's laws, like the Sabbath. Want to get better at following the Sabbath yourself? Then watch this video right here. And until then, stay blessed.